And I think I just figured out what was going wrong. So bear with me, folks. I'll be right there. We'll get up that slideshow. My apologies. But in the meantime, my name is Mike Vincent, and I am the new director of youth and camp programs here at Ketcha. A little bit about my background. I grew up in South Portland, Maine, so am very familiar with Ketcha growing up. I didn't get to come here as a kid, unfortunately, but a lot of my friends did, and really, really enjoyed it. For me, my background in outdoor education dates back over 25 years, about 25 years. I was an urban park ranger in New York City. I did outdoor education in Maui, Hawaii. I was the naturalist for the city of Portland, Maine, and ran a really fun program called the Portland Youth Corps. I'm very excited to be back here in Maine now, and very excited to be part of the Catch It team. I really believe in our mission and what we do, and think that it's a fantastic program here. So I think everybody's very lucky to be able to be part of the Catch It camp experience this summer. All right. So we got our, let's see here. All right. And now I have, aha. All right. I think I'm ready.
Okay.
Again, apologies, everybody. Let's try it this way. All right. Liz, please tell me you can see the slide presentation.
Yes, it is up.
Fantastic. All right. So thanks for bearing with me, everyone. It'll get easier as the more I do these. Like I said, we're going to go through about maybe a 35-minute slide presentation here, just to let everybody know about Camp Ketcha and what this entails. Our first slide here after this. So, let's see. There we go. So if you are at home and can point your camera at our screen, this has our summer camp handbook and our summer camp handouts in QR code form. That'll take you right to our website. So our summer camp handbook basically has everything that we're going to cover today. So what I'm doing today is giving a slide presentation that covers a lot of the same materials. Our summer camp handouts has our weekly schedule of camp and what each theme is, and our specialty camps, and also our bus schedule. So a lot of important information there. But again, you can find all this information on our website as well. At the end of the presentation, the QR codes are going to reappear if you're not getting them right now. No problem. So here at Catch Outdoors, we've been around since 1964. So we've been around for a while, and we're very proud of our mission and what we stand for in the community. So our mission is to provide equitable access to outdoor experiences and gear, promoting well-being, sustainability, and resilient communities. Our core values, we're all about community. So we believe by being here and welcoming youth and other people onto our campus and doing all this fun nature education that we get to do, that we're helping to create a real sense of community here in Southern Maine. We do believe in diversity. So here at Ketcha, every single person is welcome, regardless of their background, your culture, anything. We want you here. We want you guys to feel safe and comfortable here and getting to come out with us and enjoy nature on our campus. We do believe strongly in education. So, when you think of Ketcha Outdoors and Camp Ketcha, we're not just daycare, right? It's not just a place to have the kids come for a little while, but when they come, they're going to learn a lot. But we also believe that education, the best way that we can present education is to make it fun and exciting and hands-on. So when our youth come here for programs, they're going to learn a lot, but they're also going to have fun while they learn. Number four, we do believe in environmental stewardship. The focus of Catch Outdoors is nature. It is nature education. So, just having our youth learn how to be stewards of the environment, how to take care of the environment is something that's really important. For me personally, it's my personal mission as an outdoor educator to inspire love of the outdoors. It's my belief that you can't truly love something until you're familiar with it. And you're not going to protect something unless you love it. So my goal is to find something in the outdoors, to find something in nature that everyone can fall in love with so that they'll want to protect it and be stewards. And then finally, another really important part of our mission and our core values is cultivating top staff. So we have lots and lots of returning staff that have been with us over the years as catch counselors and other people. And when we have that really good staff, we try to make sure we bring them back and keep a really positive community here. And we also provide a lot of really in-depth training. And we're going to cover that training, what that entails as well throughout the rest of this presentation. So Ketcha Outdoors is a fairly large company. We have our fingers in a lot of pies. A lot of people know us as Camp Ketcha. That is our summer camps, our traditional camps, and our specialty camps in the summer. But we also do a lot of other things. We have our after-school explorers. So this runs all throughout the school year. We have students come in on the bus. They get to come in and do fun nature activities after school and fun sports and other things like that until their parents come and pick them up. We have the Portland Gear Hub. So the Portland Gear Hub, if you're not familiar with it, is a really cool organization over on the peninsula in Portland. They take donations of bikes and other types of outdoor gear, teach people how to fix bikes, teach people how to fix them up. Their staff helps to fix up these bikes, and then we sell them to the community at a really fair, affordable price. And that helps people to have access to bikes in the outdoors. If you see our little note there on screen, all of our Ketcha families will receive 10% off at the Gear Hub. So we do have coupons when you come in with your kids or your family here on campus. We have plenty of coupons to hand out, but everyone who is part of the Ketcha family can receive 10% off of the Gear Hub. We also have a farm and forest preschool. So throughout the school year, we have a preschool that runs here on campus. We have a building called the Ice House, and Kaylina Mills is our preschool director. She does an incredible job with the young ones, and it's a really great program. And then finally, Camp Ketcha itself, we have a lot of really cool spaces that people can rent out for activities and events. So we have weddings here. We have all sorts of fun activities going on. Just today, we had a birthday party that we had here on campus with archery and games and getting to pet our goats. So we do lots of really cool things here as part of the Ketcha Outdoors family. So we are really proud of the fact that Camp Ketcha is American Camp Association accredited. So what this means is we have certain standards that we live up to through the American Camp Association. There's actually about 175 different standards that we live up to. That goes from everything from safety measures at our waterfront or on our archery course to our staffing ratios and everything in between. So the American Camp Association inspects us every single year. However, every 5 years, they do a really in-depth inspection. And just last year, they came through and did their big in-depth inspection of us, and we passed with flying colors. So we're really proud of that. We're also licensed as a youth camp with the state of Maine, which adds a whole entire another layer of standards that we have to live up to. So by having all these standards, we're always ensuring that we're just giving a really, really high quality, top-notch experience to all of our campers. And it's something that we're very proud of. These maps just kind of show a little overview of our property. Camp Ketcha is about 100, no, not about, it's exactly 107 acres. And we border on the Scarborough Land Trust property. So if you look at the map, it says Libby River Farm. So our hiking trails connect to the Scarborough Land Trust hiking trails. And this really gives us an opportunity to take our campers on all sorts of really excellent fun hikes through the woods and just have many acres of trees and plants and mushrooms and animals and cool things to look at. So as an outdoor educator, for me, it's just a fantastic, incredible campus with lots of great stuff available. This gives you a little overview of our staff structure. We have our leadership team. So, myself and Liz Tully were able to introduce ourselves tonight. Our executive director, Laura Kavanaugh, is here as well. She would fit into that leadership team. Beneath us, then we would have our program staff. So our program staff, think of these as experts in a field of camping. So we do lots of specialty camps. We do all different types of programs. So we hire people that are experts in each different area. So for example, we're hiring a music and drama program staff. We're hiring an archery program staff. We're hiring our lifeguards and waterfront people. We're hiring our ropes course staff. We're hiring arts and crafts people. We're hiring outdoor educators. We're hiring outdoor survival specialists. So our program staff, they create a lot of the really, really fun curriculum that gets done throughout the summer. And we're really excited that we get to bring people on who have a real passion for their individual area and help pass that passion on to the youth that get to participate in the programs. Of course, we have our waterfront. We have a pool and a pond. And pardon me, I came down with a little cold, so I might be just rubbing my nose occasionally. Our waterfront director is a returning staff member who's fantastic. They've been with us for a good number of years, making sure that our waterfront is safe at our pool and our pond. All of our lifeguards are, of course, certified, and we have lifeguards. We have junior and senior lifeguards that, depending on their age, but again, all certified, all trained in lifeguarding, and all overseen by our waterfront director. And then, as far as our camp counselors go, we have our top notch, which is our head counselors. These are people that are always 21 plus that have a lot of camp experience, oftentimes with Ketcha directly in the past. And then underneath the head counselors, we also have junior counselors that start at age 15 plus and our senior counselors that start at age 18 plus. Now, going back to the American Camp Association standards I mentioned, one thing that we're really proud of is at least 80% of our staff that work with the kids are ages 18 and over. So, you know, there are other places that have a lot of really young staff, a lot of 15-year-olds and stuff like that. We try to make sure that our balance is skewed towards a higher age of counselor, just to make sure that we're providing that really top-notch experience for our campers. As I mentioned, our staff, part of our mission of making sure that we're retaining elite staff is making sure they have really excellent training. So every summer, our staff members are going to go through about 25 to 30 hours of training. Every single staff member that works with kids is going to be CPR, first aid, and AED certified. All of our staff members are going to have some basic water safety for parents and caregivers. So that, that's not just our lifeguards. Our lifeguards are, of course, certified, but all of our staff member has some basic water safety because they go swimming with the kids as well. So we just make sure we have plenty of people in the water providing safety during swim time. Our staff members go through our mandated reporter training and then many other topics, which include child abuse prevention, ages and stages of development, behavior management, active supervision, and group facilitation to make sure our staff knows how to lead really fun, engaging programs, intercultural training, and emergency preparedness to make sure that we're prepared for all different types of situations and emergencies should they arise. We do have a counselor and training program. So this is all part of encouraging and mentoring our staff and inviting them back and making sure that we have really top-notch staff. So our counselor and training program, when our campers start to age out of being a camper, when they start to turn ages 14 and 15, they can become a counselor in training. So this summer, we're doing 2 weeks of instruction. That would be instructing those counselors trainings in leadership, teamwork, program facilitation, CPR, first aid. And then after those 2 weeks of instruction, they're going to have a week of shadowing where they're going to be joining our groups and really pitching in and maybe even leading some programs so that they get that experience under their belt. Hopefully, our plan is once they go through a summer or two of counselor and training, then they'll be ready to be promoted to a junior counselor and eventually a senior counselor. So it's all about keeping really good people within the organization. Um, the picture that you see here is Jasmine. She is one of our top-notch counselors who has been with us for a good number of years. She's leading our counselor and training program this summer, and we're thrilled to have her back. The leader in training, this is for someone that has already been through our counselor and training program, but they're not quite of the age where we could hire them as a junior counselor, but they can come and volunteer their time to work with us as a leader in training counselor throughout the summer. Here at Camp Ketcha, we find that in order to make sure that everybody from the campers to the staff to the visitors that come through are able to understand our rules and our guidelines, we try to keep it as simple as possible. We find that for our youth, just instead of throwing 50 to 60 rules at them that they're never going to remember, we boil it down to what we call our 5-finger contract. So this is something that our campers will follow, our staff will follow. Basically, everybody that's part of the Ketcha family will follow our 5-finger contract. So we're going to go through each of those fingers and tell you what they mean. The pinky is all about safety. That's what comes first here at Camp Ketcha is staying safe. So that could include staying with the group, playing safely, and having a safe body, making sure that we're keeping our body to ourselves. It could mean self-care, making sure that we're pausing to take water breaks and making sure that we're putting on sunscreen and bug spray. We're going to talk all about that in just a minute. Our safety includes following directions, making sure that our campers can follow the instructions from our staff so that everybody stays safe. And it also includes emotional safety. So something we're really proud of is this year, we're hiring a new staff member who is going to be our camper support specialist. So you can kind of think of this person as our mental health nurse on campus. Of course, we do have a nurse here on campus as well, but our camper support specialist is going to be someone with a mental health background who's going to be working full-time in the summer so that if our campers are having some issues or having some, a tough day or something like that, we have our camper support specialists who can step in and really help those campers and also to help our staff to come up with really good solutions and really age appropriate strategies for how to help our staff members to have a good, emotionally safe day here at camp. Our second finger stands for respect. So I say there's 4 things: respecting others. So that might be respecting our fellow campers, respecting our staff members, respecting visitors, making sure we have respect for or all people around us, respecting ourselves. So we always want to make sure our campers have self-respect, that we're not getting down on ourselves, that we're not, throwing ourselves under the bus, but, being positive about ourselves, having a growth mindset, respecting nature. We talked about how important environmental stewardship is to us. So having respect for the natural environment, making sure that we're treating nature with respect and being good stewards. And then finally, we are a nonprofit, so we want to make sure that everybody is respecting our equipment and our property. We have archery equipment, we have sports equipment, we have arts and crafts supplies, we have all these things that we're, buying to make sure that the camp experience is great. So just respecting that equipment to make sure that it's around for future campers to use without us having to rebuy it every year is really great. Our third finger is for kindness. And now you can understand why we put three fingers up instead of one at a time. So, kindness is our middle finger. That is inclusion, making sure that everybody here feels included in activities and nobody feels left out. Kindness could include sportsmanship. Stewardship, we already talked about. Leave no trace. That's one of the really important nature concepts that we always practice here. Service to others and lifting others up. So if you see a fellow camper having a rough time or having a hard day, go over and talk to them, offer ways to help them or to cheer them on or make sure that they're doing good. So kindness is something really important to us here at Camp Ketchup. Our fourth finger is for leadership. That would be leading by example, having integrity and honesty, being a helper. So maybe at the end of an activity, offering to help clean up the supplies. That's a really great way to be a leader. And then looking out for others and the natural world, basically going above and beyond to set a really great example. And, it's not just our staff that we consider mentors, but we say that our campers can be mentors for each other and be leaders for each other. And then finally, our fifth finger, we usually finish off with a high five. So high five right there to the camera. Our fifth finger, our thumb, stands for fun. If we do the first four, safety, respect, kindness, and leadership, we're pretty much guaranteed to have fun here. But Ketcha is a fun place. We want to make sure that everybody's having a fun time. Everybody's trying new things and pushing themselves to the new limits and having just brand new experiences that they're going to remember for the rest of their life. So that is our five finger contracts and what each one means. So for our summer camps at Camp Ketcha, we basically have two different categories. We have what we call traditional camp. So traditional camp is what you think of as a normal summer day camp experience. I say normal, but here we think of it as a little elevated, a little extra elite. But we're going to get into what those activities for traditional camp are in the next slide. But just to give everybody an idea, our traditional camps are always divided by different age group. This year, we've switched it to slightly doing something different. In the past, we used to do what age our campers are. Now we're going to do it by what year in school they're actually going into in the fall. So our Cottontails, that is our youngest group. We always have a 1-to-5 staff ratio for the Cottontails. That is pre-K through K. Our Woodchucks is the next level up. That is grades 1 and 2, and that's also at a 1-to-5 staff ratio. So again, you're seeing these really, really low staff ratios. That's something that we really pride ourselves in. The Chipmunks, that's grades 3 to 4, and that's at a 1-to-6 staff ratio. And then our Bobcats, that is grades 5 to 6 and a 1-to-8 ratio. And our oldest campers, that is grades 7 to 8, and that is a 1-to-8 ratio. So our campers at traditional camp are always grouped with campers that are around their own age, and they go throughout the daily activities with those groups that are their same age as well. So here are our traditional camp activities. This is probably not an exhaustive list. I'm sure we could figure out other stuff we didn't put on this list, but this is our main activities that our campers might go through on a daily basis. Arts and crafts, of course, we have our own art cabin here. Swimming. Swimming is a daily activity for our campers. Our campers go swimming every single day. Music and drama, where we just built a brand new outdoor stage that we're excited about. A new position that we have this year, we're hiring somebody to be our outdoor movement and yoga program counselor. So we're excited about that program. We do all different types of sports. We do archery. We have ropes course here with 18 different elements from high elements and low elements. We do hiking. We have 2 different playgrounds here on campus. We have animal visits, and that would include people bringing in animals as special guests, but also our goats and our chickens that we have as residents here on our campus. All different types of games, of course, special events, guest speakers, gardening, and also some free time so that campers have a little bit of a say and a choice in some of their activities. This is a basic schedule of what our summer camp day and traditional camp might look like. So from 9 to 9:30, we're going to have our parent drop off. And then once the kids are dropped off, they're going to be finding the group that they're in. From there, they're going to be playing some get to know you name games, going over rules and expectations, doing a backpack check to make sure they have all the supplies they need, and our opening circle just to get ready for the day. From 9 to 10:30. Well, I won't go through all these. Just know that we have 5 different program blocks throughout the day. So throughout every single camp day, there's 5 different programs that our groups will be rotating around to. Those activities that we just saw on the last slide, those will be slotted into those program blocks. We also have 2 different snack periods and a lunch period. And then at the end of the day, we do our closing circle, which includes a debrief and kind of checking in about how the day went and doing a pickup with the parents. We also, in addition to our traditional camps, we have specialty camps. So our specialty camps have 3 different age groups. Our mini specialty camps are grades 1 and 2. Our junior specialty camps are grades 3 and 4, and our senior specialty camps are grades 5 and 8. And then our next slide here will tell you all our different specialty camps that we lead throughout the summer. So we do art camp, World of Water, which is all about different water and swimming and trips to aquaboggan and things like that. We had our rope and rock camp, which is our climbing camp and our ropes course camp. We do nature discovery camp, which is all about fun outdoor nature education. One of my personal favorites, part of my background is as this outdoor survival instructor. So I love that we have a outdoor survival camp as well. We do farm camps where our campers will get to learn to take care of our chickens and our goats and do some gardening and some farming. We have animal camp for the animal lovers out there. Fantasy camp is super cool. Fantasy camp is all about, wizards and elves and dragons and Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and that whole fantasy play world. So it's all about using our imagination and creating stories. We do mountain bike camp with our partners from the Gear Hub. Our STEM camp is all about science and connecting science to nature. We have whitewater rafting camp. That one is the one that probably is the most popular and fills up the quickest every year. We do sports camp, which is a whole wide range of sports. And then we also have our wheels and walls camp. Pardon me 1 second. Excuse me. I apologize. Our wheels and walls camp is all about skateboarding, mountain biking, and climbing. So as you can see, whole different range of specialty camps, something for everybody. We won't spend too much time in this slide. This is our program areas. So this kind of just shows many of our different outdoor playgrounds, many of our hiking areas, our barn, our water sports, our archery, everything like that. But some really fun pictures of youth having fun in years past. We always get lots and lots of questions about our waterfront and our lifeguard rules and swimming rules. So I like to cover that in detail. So for our waterfront fast facts, we always have a 1 to 20 ratio of lifeguards to swimmers. So again, our lifeguards are always certified, of course. However, that 1 to 20 is a little misleading because we do have our staff swim with our campers every day. So even though our staff, our normal staff is not necessarily a certified lifeguard, they do go through water safety training. So in addition to those lifeguards that are certified, always overseeing the swimming programs, our staff is always in the water with the kids as well, making sure everybody is safe. We have a certified pool operator on staff. This is somebody who does water quality tests on a very regular basis, making sure the water quality is always safe and that the pools are in fantastic condition with beautiful, clear blue water, as you can see in that picture. We have our lifeguards certifications. They go through a whole certification process to make sure that they're up to the ACA and State of Maine standards. We do daily swimming in our pond and pool. We test for swim skills twice a week for our chipmunks, woodchucks, and cottontails. And then we do a process called test, mark, and protect. So all of our campers get swim tested. Depending on what level our lifeguards find that they're testing at, they're going to be marked by wearing a colored rubber bracelet so we know who everybody is. And then protect part comes in for our lowest level of swimmers. They're going to be wearing a certified life jacket at all times to make sure they're extra safe in the water. Something new that we're doing this year, what we found in the past is on Mondays when we do our swim tests were taking so long that a lot of times kids didn't get much swim time on Mondays. So we're going to try to offer swim tests that are going to be before and after camp. This is still, we're working on what times those will be available. But basically swim tests before and after camp that are going to be optional. That way we can test people before and when on Mondays, when it's time to do testing, we'll still have enough time that kids can actually get in the water and do some good swimming on Mondays too, not just testing. Our next slide here just shows the different levels of our swimmers. So our purple is our non-swimmer. Those are the ones who are going to be wearing our Coast Guard approved life jackets. They are limited to the shallow end of the pool and the first sections of the pond, and there's going to be counselors within arm's reach of those students and campers at all times. Our red, those are beginning swimmers. They are limited to water that is armpit depth or less, and again, the counselors are going to be within arm's reach at all times. Our yellow are our shallow water swimmers. They're going to be limited to the shallow end of the pool and the first two sections of the pond. And then finally, our top level swimmers are our green. Those are our deep water swimmers. They're going to be able to swim in all designated pool and pond areas, and they can jump off our diving platform. So a lot of parents always ask, okay, well, what are these requirements? So maybe I can start practicing with my child ahead of time and get them ready for the swim test. So these are our swim test standards that our lifeguards will use. So for the green swim level, which is our highest swim level, what the campers will have to do is swim the width of the pond. I'm sorry, swim the width of the pool twice without touching the ground. They'll have to do a front float with their face in the water. They'll have to do a back float. They'll have to tread water in the deep end of the pool for 30 seconds without holding onto the side. And then they'll have to swim to the pool ladder, climb out, jump in the water, resurface, and then swim to the ladder and climb out again. So if they can pass all these, they'll be our green swim level. Anything less than that, the lifeguards kind of just make us their best determination on that day about whether they're going to fit into the red, the purple, or the other levels, depending on how they do. So sunscreen and bug spray, we always like to talk about this as well. We take sunscreen and our bug prevention very, very seriously here at Camp Ketcha. We take it so seriously that we have a sunscreen schedule throughout the day. So it's not just whenever we think that your child is turning red, we decide that we need to place some sunscreen on them. We have very specific periods throughout the day. So we ask that our parents actually show up with their kids already sunscreen applied. So you'll get to learn that when drop off time comes, our parking lot gets very busy. So we do ask that if it's possible to have the sunscreen applied before the drop off instead of as you're dropping them off. That just helps to keep the parking lot moving and keeps it from becoming a traffic jam. But then once the camper is here, the first application after the one that you do at home is going to be at our first snack time. Our third application is going to be at lunch. Our fourth is going to be at the second snack. Our fifth is going to be before and after swimming. And then also, if they're signed up for late care, we always make sure they put on sunscreen before late care begins as well. Um, you know, One thing that we always mention is in our crazy modern world, sunscreen and bug spray are considered medications. I know that doesn't seem totally logical, but that's kind of how the lawyers and other people look at it. So we always ask families to please provide their own sunscreen and bug spray and come with those labeled with your child's name. Now, that doesn't mean that if they should happen to forget the sunscreen or the bug spray that we don't have gallons of it here. We do. We have lots of it, really high quality stuff. But just to make sure that our campers are getting the sunscreen and the bug spray that their parents and guardians prefer them to use, we always ask that people please bring and provide that for their child and have it clearly labeled so that it goes home with them as well. Another thing that we take very, very seriously at Ketcha is ticks. So obviously, I think everybody knows that here in Maine, we do have lots of deer ticks. Here at Ketcha, though, we actually don't have too many on campus. Of course, there's no way to fully prevent ticks from being on campus, but we try our very best to get them down as much as we can. So we work with a company called Top Leaf Tree. They come use all organic natural sprays to deter the ticks, and they also install over 350 tick tubes, or basically traps that are designed to trap the ticks and attract and trap them. And all this comes at a cost of about $13,000. So we're very serious about making sure that we're doing tick checks throughout the day, and then we encourage parents and guardians to do tick checks at home when the camper gets home at the end of the day. It's really trying to make sure that we're taking Lyme disease very, very seriously and making sure that nobody has to worry about that here. Our drop off and pickup. So this is a process that we kind of works like a well-oiled machine, but it takes a little time to kind of figure it out. We do have a parking lot on our campus here. That is our main drop-off area. This is a place that parents and guardians can park, help their child to come in and get checked in the mornings. And then also around front, we also have a traffic circle. So as a parent or guardian, if you feel like your child is old enough and responsible enough that you can just drop them off in the traffic circle and have them walk to the check-in table on their own, you're absolutely welcome to do that. Otherwise, if you'd like to park and bring them in yourself, we have plenty of room for that. But it does get busy in the morning, so we have to make sure that everybody kind of knows how the process works. Um, so up by the parking lot, there will be check-in tables where our campers get checked in, and from there we'll have staff members that are helping our campers to then walk and find their designated group every day. One thing that we are take very seriously, and we don't make any apologies for, is we do ask that every parent or guardian always has their ID with them. Of course, if you're going to be with us all summer, of course our staff members are going to get to know you by name and by face. But we always want to make sure that our campers are going home at the end of the day with people that they are approved to go home with. So that's why we ask people to always have their ID with them so we can always ask for that ID and make sure that you are one of the adults that is on the pickup list. Um, we just had our deadline pass on May 1st for all of our forms to be submitted. So if you still have forms that need to be submitted, we ask you to please do that as soon as possible. One of those forms is for the pickup list and the emergency contacts. So anybody who is on that list, we always check ID and then we're able to send our campers home with the people that are on your list. If somebody is not on your list, we cannot take a verbal call over the phone. We have to have something in writing. And again, this is just a security measure to make sure that our campers are going home with the right people every day. So if Uncle Jerry's in town visiting from New Jersey and you want Uncle Jerry to pick up your camper, well, that's fine, but we can't take a phone call on the day about that. We have over 300 campers on any given day. It just gets too confusing. So we ask that Uncle Jerry is on your approved adult pickup list that you do through the Campminder app, or at the very least, you give us an email in writing to let us know ahead of time. If your camper is old enough to walk and bike home, they do need a signed permission slip. And then we do have a late pickup policy. Our camp day ends at 4 unless you've signed up for late care, which ends at 6. And then our families will be charged $1 for every minute they're late, plus a $15 fee. At 6:30 p.m., we do a failure to pick up child procedure. This is all covered in our handbook. Basically, we'd be calling Department of Child Services. Now, again, this is not to freak people out or let people, worry about that. We're not looking to, hit everybody with fines or anything like that. Really, what we're trying to say is that if there's an emergency, please give us a call. Let us know. We're happy to work with families if there's some emergency that prevents you from picking up your camper on time. But, it's just something that we want to make sure that our camper is getting picked up at the end of the day so that our staff can go home without having to worry about your camper still being here. We do have an extended care program. So our normal camp hours start from 9 in the morning and go to 4. Our morning hours are from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. and our late care is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. So attendance is taken at the beginning and the end of the early care and the late care. And we always have staff available in those same staff ratios that we said. Our staff are always carrying radios and first aid kits and observing during the early care and late care. So the early care and late care involves a lot of free time, which means sports. It means maybe some arts and crafts activities, a lot of playground time and stuff like that. But the kids are here having fun, getting a lot of free choice, and always being observed by our staff. We do have a bus that you can sign up for by our Camp Minder app. We have lots of different bus locations, not just in Scarborough, but in the surrounding towns in Westbrook and Portland and other places. So you can go online to our Camp Minder app, and if you're interested in signing up for the bus, you can do that right on Camp Minder. You can even select what locations that you'd like your camper to be picked up and dropped off at. Another thing that's important to know about our bus is that we do have 2 Camp Ketcha staff members that are on the bus with the kids from the very first pickup at the beginning of the day to the very last drop off at the end of the day. So it's not just our bus driver that is observing and monitoring safety on the bus. We do have 2 Ketcha staff members that are riding the bus with the kids, making sure everybody's safe and nothing weird is going on the bus as they come to and from camp. So throughout camp, we do lots of different fun special events. Every single camp week has its own theme. So these are some of the special events that we have throughout our 10-week summer. Week 1, we're doing a color run. Week 2, we're doing a food drive. Week 3 is a really fun event where families can show up as well. This is Popsicles with the Pops. So we have a classical music concert where we hand out popsicles to everybody and we can listen to really fantastic music here on campus. Week 4 is a surprise special guest, but that is our animal week. So you won't have to guess too hard who that might be and what they're bringing with them, that surprise guest that week. Week 5, we do a big scavenger hunt. Week 6 is another really fun activity that families can kind of come and observe at the end of the week. That is our air band. So think about our campers picking songs and doing lip syncing and really fun skits and performances to some of their favorite songs on our stage, and parents can come in and watch those and videotape them and have a grand old time. Week 7 is a really good fundraiser that we do. This is called the Pie in the Face. So if your camper has a counselor that for whatever reason they don't like that much, you can pay to have them hit in the face with a pie. I'm sure I'm going to get two or three of them myself during that week, so I'm not too worried about it. Week 8 is our water carnival, so lots of fun water activities. We have bouncy houses and sprinklers and all sorts of fun water activities that week. Week 9 is our minute to win it, which is all sorts of really fun team games and things like that. And then week 10 is our clean the earth challenge. So again, all about being stewards of the campus and the land and making sure that we're taking care and doing really fun projects to give back to the land itself. Wednesdays are what we call Wacky Wednesdays. So we encourage all of our campers and staff members to dress up depending on what the theme is that week. And I always make a disclaimer that this is encouraged but is optional. So we're not telling parents, hey, on Tuesday night, maybe time to hit Walmart and go get that Halloween costume every week. No, 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 no. It's not that serious. It's just a way for our campers and our staff to really have fun. So if you have any type of costume at home that can work for the theme, we encourage you to wear it, but it's mandatory, guys. Don't take it so seriously or think that you need to go out and create the most intricate, amazing costume. It's just for fun. Another thing we do on Wednesdays that is really popular is Pizza Wednesdays. So we order from Portland Pie Pizza. So our campers can order, as long as they order by the Monday before that Wednesday, they can get in on this. Includes pizza, pretzels, popcorn, watermelon, and carrots. Our price range is one slice for $6.50 and two slices for $7. It's a little odd to me, that breakdown, but I figure what it is, if your camper can't really eat a full slice, just go ahead and order the two and you can give it to a staff member as a tip. That's a joke, by the way. As our ACA standards dictate, we cannot accept tips, even though we'd like to eat their extra slice of pizza. But we do accept, emails and pats on the back and Yelp reviews as a way to say that our counselors are doing a good job. All right. So just to cover what our campers should have with them every single day they come to camp, what they should have in their backpack. Of course, they need a water bottle. We want to make sure we're staying hydrated. We want them to bring their own lunch. We do have over 300 campers. That means that we do have free refrigerators available for our camper use or microwaves available for our camper use. So we ask that the lunch that they bring is self-contained in their own lunchbox, maybe with an ice pack if there's stuff that needs to stay cold. 2 to 3 snacks for our snack times throughout the day. Sunscreen and bug spray, we talked about that. Please bring your own and have it labeled. Their swimsuit, because they swim every day, a towel, a plastic bag for the swim items so their stuff is not getting drenched, an extra clothing in case that there's heavy rain or there's an accident or something happens where a camper needs extra clothing. Weather appropriate layers, including a rain jacket, because unless there's thunder and lightning, we still go out in the rain and have fun. We are a nature camp. We're not afraid of a little rain. And then we always recommend campers might want to bring a small comfort item. So maybe a fidget or a stuffy or something like that. And then there's a few things that we ask campers not to bring. So electronics like phones, iPads, video games, watches, those are not allowed here at camp. Please don't bring them. And then also we do not allow any type of trading cards. So Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, sports cards, things like that. We found in the past, there's too many tiers, there's too many fights. So we ask that people do not bring those trading cards and leave those at home. This is a slide all about our camper readiness and essential eligibility criteria. So as I said, we do want everybody to feel safe and welcomed here at Camp Ketcha, but we do have certain criteria that our campers do need to meet to make sure that Camp Ketcha is a good fit for them. So those are all listed here on screen. We'll go over them real briefly. Age appropriate coping skills just means that depending on their age, that they have the emotional maturity to go throughout a camp day without too many meltdowns. Of course, that is why we have our camper support specialist and really well-trained staff. We are here to help them and support them emotionally, but we want to make sure that they're going through their day in an age-appropriate way and not having meltdowns every turn. We talked about no technology, so if your camper just can't make it through the day without their iPad, this might not be the best summer camp for them, and we can practice, getting rid of that technology and coming back when they're ready. We ask that our campers are able to communicate their needs and ask for help. Our staff and our campers are here to coach our kids. They're here to help our kids, but we would like our campers to be able to voice what they need and tell us what they need. So if they need to use the restroom, hopefully they'll be able to communicate to us, hey, I need to use the restroom. And then we can make sure that they get there and get that. Having respect for their self, environment, others, we cover that in the five-finger contract. The ability to follow verbal instructions from our staff. Again, this is just a safety thing, making sure everybody stays safe. The transition between program areas, here on campus, we have lots of hills, lots of forests, lots of woods, making sure our campers are physically able to move between program areas and emotionally able to move between program areas. So being able to know that, hey, this activity is coming to a close and we're about to go do another activity, having the emotional maturity to be able to handle that transition is important. We want to make sure our campers are able to practice safety. Again, this is part of our five-finger contract. Sensory regulation, that has to do with understanding that Camp Ketcha is a loud and boisterous place sometimes. That doesn't mean that if our campers have some, sensory issues that we can't find a quiet place for them to take a little 5-minute break or a 10-minute break. We can absolutely provide that. But just having the understanding that camp is a loud and boisterous, fun place. So knowing that our campers, that's the environment that they're agreeing to enter into. The ability to stay with our group, hugely important. We can't have campers wandering off, and we have to make sure they stay with our group and the ability for our campers to manage their personal hygiene. So it is required that all of our campers are at an age where they are toilet trained and able to use the bathroom on their own. Of course, our staff is here to coach them and to help them, but things like applying their own sunscreen, we hope that our campers are able to apply their own sunscreen and bug spray, maybe with a little coaching, but we don't really want our staff to be the ones to constantly have to apply the sunscreen on them if we can avoid that. So that all falls into that personal hygiene category and make sure our campers are ready for summer camp. Oh, one last thing about that last slide. We are not able to provide one-on-one staff members here at camp. If you have a camper that needs a one-on-one staff member, they are welcome here at Ketcha if you can provide that one-on-one staff member for us. We cannot provide that, but if your camper needs a one-on-one and you are able to provide that, we are willing to welcome them here at Ketcha during our summer. Next slide is just some medical fast facts. We talked about all of our staff being CPR, first aid, and AED certified. We do have a full-time nurse on staff throughout the summer. If your children are sick, just like school, we ask you please keep them home to avoid any big outbreaks. We've all gone through a few years of that. We know how that works. Camper medications, including EpiPens. We do have a nurse's office that is locked throughout the day unless the nurse is in. Those medications will be locked up and safe there. If your camper requires an EpiPen and your camper has an allergy that's severe and the EpiPen needs to be close to them, that's not a problem. We can make sure that that EpiPen stays with their staff member and follows them throughout the day. Not a problem. Uh, we do ask that everybody's very clear on their forms, on their medical forms, about telling us about any camper allergies. We do like to make it known that Camp Ketcha is not a peanut-free space or a latex-free space. Our campers eat their lunch and their snacks outdoors. So if there are food allergies, they will be able to be outdoors and able to have a little space between them and other campers. However, we are not a peanut-free or any type of certain type of food-free space. And then finally, our lice policy is very simple. If your camper should happen to have lice throughout the summer, just make sure the lice in those eggs are gone before sending them back because we will check when they come in. Thank you. Just some communication fast facts for communicating throughout the summer. If you know that your camper is going to be absent, please give us a call because if they don't show up and we haven't heard from you, we will call you. So if we do get a call from us throughout the day, please don't be alarmed. Most of the time is very minor things. Emergencies might happen, but you'll always be talking to a very calm, collected staff member. But if you get a call from us, probably not a big deal. Just don't be alarmed. May 1st just passed. We talked about that is our due date for all required tasks and forms on the CampMinder app. If you have anything outstanding, please make sure you're checking that and get that into us as soon as possible. We have our Camp Ketcha Chronicle. This is our weekly newsletter that we send home to all our families. And then finally, a really cool feature that we do is daily notes. So, one thing parents and guardians always struggle with sometimes is asking our campers, how'd your day go? And they say, oh, fine. What'd you do? Oh, I don't know. I forgot. So our daily notes is our counselors work with our campers at the closing circle to find out what their favorite activity was during the day or maybe another fun memory and write those down so that they're going home with a prepared daily notes so you can ask them about their camp day. Pardon me one second. So at Camp Ketcha, we're all about our boundaries. We don't have many physical boundaries. We don't have many fences that keep our campers in, but we have a lot of emotional boundaries that we make sure that we're adhering to make sure that this is a safe place for everybody. So our boundaries help us keep us safe and respectful. These are some of them. We talked about kindness in our five-finger contract, but we really like to drive the point home. At Ketcha, we think it's cool to be kind. We don't use words or actions that make others feel uncomfortable or unsafe, and we try to look out for each other and make sure everybody feels welcomed and included. Here at Ketcha, we always practice a rule of threes. What this means is that a child will never be alone with a staff member or vice versa. If a child needs to use the bathroom, we're always going to send either two staff members or a staff member with two children. But as we're moving around campus, we're always going to be in groups of at least three, never of two. We always ask that everybody respects personal boundaries. Our staff members are always happy to give high fives. We're always happy to give hugs, but we always like to make sure that those are asked for and that they're wanted, right? Respecting people's personal space and boundaries is very important for us. We do believe keeping their hands off the swimsuit zone. So whether that's other campers or staff, a good pat on the back is great. A good high five is awesome, but nobody should ever be touching where the swimsuit covers, just to be on the safe side. And then we always encourage our campers and our staff members to really build rapport with our campers, to really make them feel safe and protected, and to feel like they have a trusted adult in their lives. So we always want our campers to feel safe. If there's somebody that's not respecting their boundaries or the camp rules or picking on them, we always want to make sure they feel safe to tell one of the counselors, to tell an adult, or for the parents to contact us and speak with us directly. We're here to help. So we do take safety extremely seriously here at Ketcha. These are just some of the ways we keep everybody safe. I've probably talked a lot of these already. So we talked about the five-finger contract. We talked about our ACA staffing ratios. We talked about the rule of three. One thing that everybody should know is all of our staff members go through a background check and fingerprinting process. All of our staff members need to have professional references. So for a new staff member, that requires 3 references. For a returning staff member, that requires 2 references. We do have video cameras installed in our main building on campus here, especially in the bathroom areas, to make sure that everybody is covered and protected. We talked about our sunscreen policy. We talked about our bug spray and tick defenses. We make sure that we're taking regular water breaks. We talked about our nurse and our EMT that's on staff. We talked about our lifeguards. We talked about our training. All of our staff has walkie-talkies and first aid kits, or at least our senior staff members. And then we talked about our brand new camper support specialists that we're really proud of having them on staff this summer. We talked about our head and senior counselors, making sure that we have age appropriate, really great counselors that are supervising and leading everything. And then finally, all of our staff always apply to a staff code of conduct that keeps everybody safe and respected. So thank you for sticking with me throughout that process and that fun slideshow here. We're going to open it up for questions and answers, and then I'm just going to click on our next slide here so everybody has our summer camp handbook and our summer camp handouts available. So let's see. I'm going to switch back to a mode. If anybody would like to unmute and ask a question, Liz, I believe that people are able to unmute themselves, but correct me if I'm wrong.
They should be able to.
Okay.
Let's see.
You can test
And then,
you can test me.
All right, excellent.
all right,
Okay.
Jillian, we can hear you.
Oh, great. I wrote a few questions. I hope it's not bombarding or they're at least helpful to other people.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be.
So if I need to pick up, say at 3, the camp's not quite done, they're doing the circle, is that okay?
Yes,
Yep.
3 o'clock is okay. We don't allow pickups past 3:15 because it's very disruptive with over 300 kids. Oftentimes every day there's at least 25 early pickups, and that does require a lot of staff time. So we have certain times that we allow pickups. So if it's after
okay.
3, you just need to wait until the kids are on the upper field if it's after 3.
And what time would that be?
They're all in the upper field around 3:35. So
Okay.
you could either pick up before 3 or after 3:35 when they come up. And some groups take a little longer depending on their swim time. So it's between 3:35 and 3:40.
Okay, that's good to know. I'll write that down. And then The certified life jacket that you mentioned, is it something we can bring from home, like the ones that are, what are they? I can forget the name of the brand. It's a famous brand of
Yeah, so we use puddle jumpers and we have
that
them
one.
on site,
Yes.
but a lot
Yes.
of kids do bring their own and just make sure that it is labeled so that
Okay.
it gets home with you.
Yeah, puddle jumpers. That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
Now the voluntary swim test. You said that there's going to be options for that. Is that something we sign up for in advance per week or?
Yes, this is something new that we're doing this year in order to get more kids in. So we're talking with our waterfront director and we're gonna schedule some times, but we don't have those yet, and there will be a sign up.
Okay.
And it's not mandatory. So, but there'll be nights and potentially weekends. And if you want to come meet the waterfront director and the staff, and have your child get swim tested prior to the summer, you can.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it could be prior to the summer and that could do it. That's enough.
Yes, we'll do it
Oh,
in
okay.
June. So it won't be it wouldn't be till like the second week in June, but essentially we're looking towards the week right before camp starts and then early in the summer, like week 1, week 2, week 3 for people that are registered later in the summer.
And there will be an announcement for that. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, we'll send out an email.
Okay. I'm sorry. I have two more questions.
That's okay.
The slice of pizza that includes popcorn, watermelon, carrots, that's either one slice or two slices, but both include those things. Is that
Yes,
right?
that's
Okay.
correct. Yep, the
Correct.
pizza lunch includes all that.
Okay, and then is there a microwave or reheating option, or we should do a thermos? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and then one more, last one, I promise.
It's okay.
There was some sort of bug on the website for the bus option. Is that fixed, or should we send you an email on choosing the bus?
It is
Um,
all set now. So
oh,
you can log on and it's called the day travel form, and you can choose which stop you want for AM and PM if you signed up for both.
okay, great. Oh, and if for some reason we say we choose to do the bus, but then something comes up and we need to physically go pick them up, is that something we can communicate in the morning, or what's like
Yes,
the
absolutely. We have a big dry erase board where we mark if kids aren't riding the bus or they're absent. So as long as you're communicating with us, the bus does leave Ketcha in the afternoons a little before 4.
okay.
Ideally 4 to 4:10. So as long as you let us know before that, and you can pick up your child at a different bus stop as well.
Oh, that's good
Um,
to know. Okay. All right. Well, that was all my questions. Thank you. I hope they were helpful to anyone here.
yeah, thank you.
I'm
Thank
sure they
you.
were. Thank you.
Very helpful. Hi, this is Hannah. I just had a question as well.
Hi, Hannah.
Hi, I don't think I signed up for aftercare, but it would be something we'd be interested in. Is that done through the website? Is it full at this point? We are there for just weeks 9 and 10, actually. Although, sounds just lovely. I'm thinking next year we should go for the whole summer.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you can sign up on the Campminder app. It's
Okay.
available there, and as of right now, we have plenty of room.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
I just thought of another question.
Sure.
Water. Can they refill it from the faucets? Or
Yes. Yep, we
Yeah, we
have
have.
oh, go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead, Liz.
Okay, we have 2 water fountains in the main building as well as sinks in the classrooms, and then we have water jugs that we bring out throughout the day to all the program areas. So kids have lots of opportunities to fill their water bottle.
okay, great. All right. Thank you.
Hi there. I had a couple questions regarding the specialty camps.
Hmm.
So a couple of them said there was overnights, but there wasn't a lot of detail. Are we going to receive more detailed information regarding the overnights?
Yes,
And
for
the
the dates
schedule?
of those. Yeah, so the overnights are rope and rock and outdoor survival, and then whitewater rafting. And the dates of whitewater rafting, I believe, are on the website, but the outdoor survival and the rope and rock do need to get up there. But if you want it, we have those right now. So if you're signed up, you want to send an email to registration, I can give you that information, but we are sending something out.
Okay. And is it just the general staff? Who stays with them?
For which camp?
He's and signed up for all the ones that you mentioned.
Yeah, so the staff do stay, and then one of the head counselors stays for the overnight, or another leadership staff.
Okay. And my other question is, my son is riding the bus, but he signed up for the mountain bike, and it said that they need to bring their own bikes. Are they going to be able to bring the bike on the bus?
No, you'll have to bring that
Okay.
to camp, and you can bring it the week before too, and we store them and we lock them up. So a lot of kids do bring them the week before, or just that Monday morning bringing it.
Okay, so we could just bring it Monday and then pick it up Friday or something like that?
Yes, yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, great, thank you.
Could the same apply for the life jacket? Can it be left at the camp so they don't log it around every day?
Yes, yep, you can.
Okay. Thank you.
Generally speaking, do the kids actually, and I apologize if I missed this, but do they leave anything at camp overnight other than that, like water bottle or change of clothes, or are those things brought each day?
They're brought home. Yeah, there's upwards to 320 kids, so it's
Sure.
kind of hard. But we do have 2 classrooms that we do store some of for the younger kids, which often have the puddle jumpers.
Okay.
But yes, we ask
Perfect.
that parents bring stuff home.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions?
Don't see anything in the chat. So are there any other questions that people would like to ask?
Quick question. Thanks for doing this. This has been great, especially having that virtual option for those of us not in the area. I think one
Yeah.
thing you had mentioned was just like some cameras, and you had mentioned one in the bathroom. Are those kind of the obvious, like where they're washing their hands sort of thing?
They're outside of the bathroom. They're not
got
in
it.
the
Okay, so
bathroom.
Yeah.
It just faces the bathrooms.
Okay. And then at the beginning of the day, should we have our campers come in a swimsuit, or there's going to be time for them to change before they swim?
Great question. Yeah, we have 2 changing rooms. They all have individual stalls with curtains. So yeah, they don't need to come in their bathing suit.
Okay, great. Thank you.
What do you suggest for footwear? My daughter is 6 years old, so just for the sort of the regular camp.
Yeah, so our footwear policy is closed-toed, and then also something that has like fairly firm rubber on the bottom, so sneakers or
Got it.
I forget what they call the Keens, something like
Yep.
that. We often get a lot of questions about Crocs, and we try to discourage Crocs because they are such that if there's like a screw or a nail, obviously we're always looking for those hazards, but something
Sure.
like that, or even a sharp stick in the forest could poke right through that. So we want something that has a little bit more thicker sole than a Croc.
Campers are also not allowed to climb on the ropes course in Crocs. So just keep that in mind. If the kids aren't in proper footwear, they might have to sit out of certain activities.
Another question. If a kid already has a prescription with an EpiPen, then they'll bring it. But if for some reason we are unaware that the kid might be allergic to, say, bees, and is there an EpiPen in the nurses with the
We
nurse?
don't have an EpiPen, but we are across the street from the fire department. So our rescue time frame is really quick.
Okay. Okay.
We do
Thank
have Benadryl and other items, but
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I just wanted to ask on the if they don't want to do an activity, they have to sit out. My son doesn't like heights, so I don't think he would like doing the ropes course. Is that like a choice, or what would he do instead?
do you want me to answer that, Mike? Yeah, so we get the kids, if they don't want to climb, involved in other ways. You can help belay, you can cheer kids on from the side, but they don't go off and do other activities. We try to keep the kids as a group. We do have low
Okay.
ropes course and low ropes course like games and activities, so it's not always climbing.
Okay.
And the kids progress throughout the week and they climb the higher elements at the end of the week. But there are a lot of campers that do not like to do that and will get other ways to get involved.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, and I think I heard you ask about hiking. You say they don't like to hike, is that right?
Heights.
Oh, heights.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Happy to answer any more questions if they're out there.
Towels. They should bring their own towel. I might have missed that on the things they need to bring.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Their own bathing suit and towel.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Great. I'll do a final call for questions, and then I think we can stop recording and wish everybody a good night.
I think that's it. Oh, Hannah.
Thank you.
Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
thank you.
And if you think of other questions, feel free to send them to the registration email or give us a call. We're there Monday through Friday, sometimes the weekends. So
Thank you for your time, and this was very informative.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
very
all for
much.
coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good
Take
night.
care.
Feel better, Mike.
Thank you.